Hey everyone, Shan here. We are currently navigating the peak of solar cycle 25, and the sun's behavior is not just a distant spectacle. It's actively and fundamentally transforming the electrical character of our planet in real time. This transformation is manifesting in some of the most mysterious, visually striking, and poorly understood atmospheric phenomena known to science. Over the past several days and weeks, we've monitored a relentless, almost furious series of solar eruptions, including multiple strong M-class flares and a significant Earth-directed X-class event. Each of these explosions catapults a complex and violent cocktail of energy directly toward Earth. This isn't just about visible light, but an intense barrage of ionizing X-rays, extreme ultraviolet radiation, and magnetized streams of charged particles known as solar wind. This radiant barrage accomplishes one critical overarching thing. It massively and persistently energizes Earth's ionosphere, which is the upper atmospheric layer where gases are stripped of electrons by solar radiation, creating a shell of plasma. Think of the ionosphere not as a passive layer, but as a giant, spherical, conductive leaf in a cosmic electrical storm. When we experience extreme solar activity, we are effectively hooking this planetary conductor up to a high-voltage solar battery, pumping terawatts of power into it. The entire global electrical circuit, the complex, planet-wide web of currents flowing between the charged atmosphere, the land, and the oceans, becomes supercharged, its voltage potential dramatically increased. This is our new, heightened baseline condition right now, a direct result of the sun's fury. While the dramatic geomagnetic storms we often forecast from subsequent coronal mass ejections can sometimes fizzle or underperform, that initial direct hit of high-frequency radiation has already done its irreversible work. The planet is holding a profound charge, vibrating at a different electromagnetic frequency. And when the Earth is saturated in this state, the threshold for unusual, localized electromagnetic events seems to lower considerably. This brings us to the compelling core of today's discussion, the documented rising frequency of strange luminous objects known as plasmoid sightings. So, what exactly is a plasmoid? It is best defined as a coherent, self-contained structure composed entirely of plasma. To truly understand it, we must mentally move beyond the three common, everyday states of matter. Plasma is the fourth and most abundant state of visible matter in the universe, a seething, energetic condition where atoms are torn apart into a dynamic soup of free ions and electrons. This fundamental dissociation makes it uniquely and powerfully dominated by electromagnetic and magnetic forces, often to the point where gravity becomes a secondary consideration. Unlike a chaotic, simple gas, plasma can exhibit stunning self-organization. It can fold and twist magnetic field lines into loops, ropes, and pinches, creating surprisingly stable, isolated configurations that can persist from milliseconds to minutes, appearing as glowing balls, hovering rings, or snaking filaments. These distinct, organized entities are what we call plasmoids. The intriguing and persistent pattern, supported by both anecdotal reports and a growing body of video evidence, is that sightings of these enigmatic objects, often witnessed as bizarre, silently gliding orbs or geometrically structured lights in the sky, increase dramatically during periods of sustained high solar activity, particularly around solar maximum. We are not just talking about the classic rare ball lightning observed during thunderstorms. We are now seeing these phenomena in clear, calm skies, emerging from the ground, hovering near mountains, and, as new footage shows, even embedded within the shimmering curtains of the aurora itself. The connection strongly suggests that a sun-charged ionosphere provides the foundational global energy reservoir, while localized atmospheric instabilities, geological features, or weather systems provide the specific trigger or focal point for a plasmoid to briefly manifest. In this extended, in-depth analysis, we will delve much deeper into multiple converging evidential layers. First, we will scrutinize new high-quality visual data, including a stunning and unambiguous capture of a plasmoid occurring within an active auroral display during the severe G5-class geomagnetic storm of November 2025. This footage is crucial because it demonstrates plasmoid formation happening in situ within the ionosphere's own plasma environment, not just in the lower, denser atmosphere we inhabit. It proves these are not mere reflections or lens flares, but discrete structures born of energized, magnetized plasma. Second, and critically, we must examine the peer-reviewed hard data from the previous solar cycle that provides the rigorous statistical backbone for this proposed Sun-Earth link. Comprehensive research into superbolts, Those extraordinary lightning strikes, registering over 100 times more powerful than a typical stroke, reveals an explosive orders of magnitude increase in their global frequency precisely during the solar maximum and the early descending phase of solar cycle 24. This correlation is not a vague coincidence. It is a robust, data-driven signal. Physically, a superbolt is a colossal, linear, instant discharge of plasma channel. A plasmoid is often a contained spherical or toroidal discharge that may persist. They are different morphological expressions of the same underlying electrodynamic principle, an extreme, localized release of pent-up electrical energy in a supercharged atmosphere. The implications of this linked behavior are profound for our current situation. If superbolt activity serves as a measurable proxy for overall atmospheric electrical volatility, and it is tightly coupled to solar irradiance and charged particle influx, then our current, stronger solar cycle 25 logically predicts we are on the precipice of an even more active and volatile period. The plasmoid sightings we are diligently gathering from around the world are therefore not isolated curiosities or mere anecdotes. They are qualitative data points reinforcing a larger quantitative trend predicted by the previous cycle's data. Furthermore, this globally energized state acts as a pervasive amplifier for pre-existing meteorological conditions. The increased vertical electric gradient between the highly charged ionosphere and the resistive ground can inject additional energy into developing weather systems, potentially intensifying convective processes, electrifying clouds more rapidly and powerfully, and thereby increasing the likelihood of severe weather outbreaks and anomalous electrical phenomena, including long-lived plasmoids. It's a top-down forcing mechanism that stirs the pot of our weather from above. This evidence collectively leads us to a broader, more speculative, but vitally important consideration. We are living at a historic confluence of multiple geophysical and astrophysical forcing factors. The Sun is in its most active phase in over a decade. Concurrently, the Earth's climate is unequivocally warming, which increases the lower atmosphere's total thermal energy content and alters global circulation patterns, potentially creating more frequent conditions favorable for electrical storms. There is also ongoing, cutting-edge research into the potential influence of variable galactic cosmic ray fluxes and the local interstellar medium on atmospheric ionization and cloud microphysics. The synergistic convergence of these potent factors, solar, terrestrial, and galactic, may be collaboratively pushing our planetary system into a new climatic and electrical regime, a more dynamically unstable, electrically dramatic, and storm-prone state. Therefore, the marked increase in credible plasmoid sightings may be far more than a passing solar cycle anecdote. It could be an early, visible, and visceral indicator of a deeper shift in Earth's fundamental electrical and energetic baseline, a canary in the coal mine for atmospheric change. As we move through the coming descending phase of this potent solar cycle over the next 2 to 3 years, we should scientifically expect continued and possibly heightened unusual atmospheric electrical activity. These captivating and mysterious phenomena invite all of us to look up at the sky with a renewed, questioning eye and to seriously reconsider the profoundly complex, intimately electrified nature of our planet's dynamic relationship with its star. Understanding this interconnectedness is key to appreciating the powerful, often hidden forces that are actively shaping the world we live in. It seamlessly blends the sciences of space weather, atmospheric physics, and frontier plasma research into a coherent narrative that is both urgently relevant and endlessly fascinating. The sky above us is not a passive, empty canvas. It is an active, electrically charged, and ever-evolving plasma sheet, and we, with our cameras and our curiosity, are just beginning to systematically decode its most enigmatic and beautiful behaviors. We are now entering the most dangerous and beautiful window for witnessing a phenomenon that science still can't fully explain. Welcome to Wines of Thought. If you thought recent solar activity was just about pretty auroras, think again. The sun's peak output is creating the perfect conditions for something far more rare and electrifying, plasmoids. But here's the critical point. This isn't just about a charged upper atmosphere. It's about the convergence of forces. A major solar maximum, like the one we're in now, combined with active local weather and even geomagnetic storms, creates a pressure cooker for these elusive events. We have brand new footage that proves this is happening right now. Let's examine a fourth groundbreaking sighting. This was captured by an observer named Jeffrey Hahn during the intense geomagnetic storm of November 11, 2025. Notice how this isn't a typical sprawling aurora. It's a highly localized, columnar flash of green light that pulses and vanishes. This is a plasmoid interacting with the auroral plasma itself. Remember, the northern lights are a plasma display. What we're seeing here is a coherent structure, a distinct packet of energy, forming within that larger sea of charged particles. So, let's review the forms we've seen. The Illinois sighting was distant, its true shape ambiguous. The New Zealand event was a classic, small sphere rising from the ground. The Canadian footage showed a massive, honking sphere of ball lightning. This new one? A luminous, elongated column. The common thread is plasma, a state of matter where atoms are ripped apart into free-floating ions and electrons, dancing to the tune of electromagnetic forces far stronger than gravity. These plasmoids are self-contained, magnetized bubbles of this raw, energetic substance, and they are being reported with increasing regularity. Now, many supposed sightings turn out to be misidentified stars or planets, but the videos we're analyzing are different. They show anomalous behavior that defies simple explanation. What does it mean that we now have clear documentation spanning from the late ascending phase of this solar cycle through the peak and into this early descending phase? The answer points to energy. Solar maximum cycles, like our current solar cycle 25, pump an insane excess of radiative power into Earth's system. This energy has to go somewhere. And we have a fascinating clue from the last solar cycle about where some of it manifests. Look at superbolts. These are the most powerful lightning strikes, orders of magnitude stronger than average. Research from solar cycle 24 shows a dramatic, undeniable spike in superbolt frequency during solar maximum and the early descending phase. Why is this relevant? Because a superbolt is essentially a gigantic linear plasmoid. The other name for a plasmoid is ball lightning. They are cousins, born from the same process. A massive electrical current ionizing the air into a temporary plasma structure. This connection tells us that when the Earth is supercharged from above, its own electrical phenomena becomes supercharged too. Now, solar cycle 25 has been stronger than cycle 24. Sunspot numbers and solar radiation flux have been higher. While we await the finalized data, the logical projection is clear. We are likely experiencing even more superbolts and, by extension, more plasmoids than the last time around. We are at a unique point. We are at the tail end of solar maximum, transitioning into the descending phase, the precise period when the data shows these energetic events actually peak. So, what can we expect? When the sun is in this state of fury, with giant sunspots constantly erupting, it does more than paint the sky with light. It ionizes our upper atmosphere, dramatically increasing the electrical potential between the ionosphere and the ground. This acts as an intensifier for any pre-existing weather system. A simple rain cloud might find the energy to become a thunderstorm. A regular thunderstorm might birth a superbolt, or a plasmoid. The system is being pushed into a higher energy state. This leads to a broader, more profound observation. Our world is becoming more stormy, more electrically volatile. This is due to a combination of factors: a warming climate, human activity, and, as we were discussing, an increasingly active solar and interstellar environment. As we move into the coming decades, could we be shifting into a new, more electrically dramatic chapter for Earth? If so, these once rare plasma phenomena, these plasmoids, will become less rare. They will become a more common feature of our supercharged reality. So, be on the lookout. We are witnessing the birth of a more electrically volatile world. Thank you for watching. This is Winds of Thought. If this exploration of hidden forces resonated with you, please support the channel by hitting the like button. It makes a real difference for our growth. And subscribe to join us as we investigate the cutting edge of science, consciousness, and the unseen patterns shaping our world. The sun's fury is rewriting the rules of our atmosphere. What will you see when you look up tonight? Stay aware and stay curious.